Brakati Yahweh, Brakati
Brakati
Yahweh
Yahweh
Shai,
Shai,
Brakati
Brakati
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Brakati
Brakati
Yahweh
Yahweh
Shai,
Shai,
Brakati
Brakati
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Brakati
Brakati
Yahweh
Yahweh
Shai,
Shai,
Call Allah, Yahweh
Yahweh
Bashim,
Bashem,
Yahweh
Yahweh
Shai,
Shai,
Bashim
Bashem
Rakakadash.
Rakakadash.
Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, to the Akim out there teaching and preaching this truth with 100% sincerity, to the men, women, and children listening and learning, and to the house of David, the Bayasha Debadad of the hopeful elect men of the 144,000. Abaratazah we be of that number. This is Men of Valor, Las Vegas camp, coming to you today with a lesson. And the lesson's going to be titled,
What is a God with no power?
all right, so what is a God with no power? Which would be an idol. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and move forward in the scriptures. Abaratazah, that this lesson is edifying to the body. All right, so we're going to start in the book of Isaiah, chapter 44, and verse 6. And it reads, Thus saith Yahweh, the King of Israel, and here, Slaki, in his redeemed, in his Redeemer, Yahweh of hosts. I am the first, I am the last, and beside me there is no God. All right, so beside Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, there is no God. All right, continue on to verse 7. And who, as I shall call and shall declare it and set it in order for me, since I appointed thee ancient people. All right, so who are those ancient people? You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Seminole Indians, Mexicans, Guatemala, Puerto Ricans, Haitians. All right, you are the chosen people of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, continuing on. And the things that are coming and shall come, let them show unto them. Verse 8. Fear ye not, neither be afraid. Have not I told thee from that time, and have declared it? All right, so Yahweh Bashem Yahushai declared it. He declared that he is our power. All right, that he is the father of Abraham, of Isaac, and of Jacob. All right, continuing on. Ye are even my witness. Is there a God beside me? Yea, there is no God, I know not any. So Yahweh Bashem Yahushua said he don't know of any other power that is so-called a God unto him. All right, that is above him, who is even beside him. All right, verse 9, continuing on. They that make a graven image are all of them vanity, and their delectable thing shall not profit. All right, so it should not profit. It shouldn't bring forth any good works or anything. It is unprofitable in retrospect. All right, continuing on, and they are their own witness. So they have no witnesses. They witness of themselves. All right, and they in reality they can't even witness of themselves because they are false. All right, they're made by the hands of man. Continuing on, they see not nor know that they may be ashamed. All right, so these things are just materials of the world. Okay, continuing on, who have formed a god or molten a graven image that is profitable for nothing. All right, so it was made and it was profitable for nothing. It was made out of vanity by man. All right, to worship a false idol. Verse 11, behold, all his fellows shall be ashamed, uh, and the workmen they are of men. Let them all be gathered together, let them stand up, yet they shall fear, and they shall be ashamed together. So you shall be ashamed for cleaving on to these false idols, this Caesar Borgia, the world knows as Jesus Christ, this Mecca, this rock, this Buddha, this Mary, Krishnan, the sun god Ra, all these false idols, all right, is just an abomination, all right? So I'll go ahead
All right, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 36. The Lord shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, and there shalt thou serve other gods, wood and stone.
So Yahweh Shem Yahushai, because we disobeyed the laws, statutes, and commandments set forth, we disobeyed those laws, statutes, and commandments. So now it's the punishment that we went through. Yahweh Shem Yahushai said we shall serve other gods of wood and stone. Wood. What is that wood? The cross. All right. That you so-called Christians wear amongst your neck. You Catholics with the rosary beads and so on and so forth. You know, other religions that have the wood may not symbolize so much the cross, but still have a connection to that. All right, and stone, Mecca.
That's the Kabbalah.
What is it? I'm still out here.
It's the Kabbalah. That's what they walk around as.
The Kabbalah.
Kabbalah.
All right, and you're walking around this rock. Essentially, you know, you're walking around this rock, and it's nothing but a stone. But you're giving this stone more honor than you give Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right, and you Kemet, thinking that the black woman is God. You're going off, completely bugged out, completely bugged out.
All right, moving on to verse 37, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee.
Khan, so you should become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword, all right, for following these false idols, all right? So you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Seminole Indians, that is a byword. That is a byword unto you. Matter of fact, go ahead and get the names. Go to Exodus chapter 1 and verse 1. And just to tell you, you are the children of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, you 12 tribes. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Seminole Indians, Mexicans, blacks, all right? You are the children of Israel. Go ahead.
And these are our real names. So the book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 1. Now these are the names of the children of Israel, which came into Egypt. Every man and his household came with Jacob, Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, and Benjamin, Dan and Naphtali, Gad and Asher. And all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob were 70 souls, for Joseph was in Egypt already.
Khan. So you are the chosen children of Israel. Those are your biblical names, not your byword names, all right? You so-called Mexicans, you so-called Negroes, or African American, or blacks, or Haitians, or Guatemalans, or Paraguay, or Uruguay. Those are bywords, all right? That is a byword for you, all right? It is a shame to be called that, all right? Continue.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 3. Thou shalt have no other powers before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, thy power, am a jealous power, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me.
Khan. So, in matter of fact, just for edification, what is that? What did that come out of? What you said, that verse. What is it in?
This is the book of Exodus.
Exodus chapter 20.
Yeah.
And what's the header of that book? That is a what for us? For Israel.
It's a commandment.
It's commandment. All right. This is the first covenant. The first covenant. These are the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right. And you can read that for yourself. These are commandments. All right. Going to go back to the book of Isaiah. And we're going to go chapter 44. And we're going to go verse 16 through 19. And it reads, He, Salakia, he burneth part thereof in the fire. With part thereof he eateth flesh. He roast, and satisfy. So, Salakia, you so-called Christians who wear this cross on your neck, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is putting you to shame and telling you directly that your cross is phony. Plus, why would you worship something that crucified your so-called Savior? And I say your so-called Savior because that's Caesar Borgia. That image that you see right there is Caesar Borgia. That is not Yahweh Shai. All right? And Yahweh does not look like that. Nor that. All right? So he's putting you to shame right now. Okay? Because if your God was a God of wood, would he not be able to stop you kindling the fire? All right? I'm going to start at verse 16 and again. And it reads, Isaiah chapter 44 and verse 16. He burneth part thereof in the fire. With part thereof he eateth flesh. So like a shish kebab or something like that. All right? Or turning the roast. Continuing on. He roasteth roast and is satisfied. Yea, he warmeth himself. So he warms himself with fire. When you are cold and you're in the wilderness, do you not cut down a tree? Do you not gather up sticks and start to kindle a fire? All right? Continue to read. He warmeth himself and say, Aha, I am warm. I have seen the fire. So, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is mocking you, Jake. Mocking you, you 12 tribes, and all you other heathen. He's mocking you because your gods are not gods. They are false idols. All right? Continuing on, verse 17. And the residue of he maketh a god, even his graven image. He faileth down unto it, and worship it, and prayeth unto it, and saith, Deliver me, for thou art my God. All right? You're praying to something that has no power. As you're seeing in Mecca, the what is it called again?
The Kaaba.
The Kaaba, this rock, this stone. You'll travel. You'll travel so far to go and worship this stone. Okay? Verse 18. They have not known nor understand, for he hath shut their eyes that they cannot see, and their hearts that they cannot understand. So Yahweh Bashem Yahushai has cut you off because of your lust of these things. So he sealed it so you wouldn't get it. Ultimately, we know this is about an election. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is 144,000 in the 1/3. All right? Abaratazah would be of that number. But that's what it's about. But for all you other Jakes and you heathen nations out there, that's all it's about. And the salvation is only for Israel. All right? The 12 tribes of Israel. Continuing on, verse 19. And it reads, And none considereth in his heart, which that word heart means mind, neither is there knowledge nor understanding in the fire. Slakia. Neither is there understanding to say, I have burned part of it in the fire. All right? Yahweh Bashem Yahushai says, you do not know or you do not understand that your false God, this false deity, this false idol, this cross that you worship, you just burned part of it in a fire. How can that be a God? It has no power. You got something to say?
Yeah, because Yahweh was saying, that these false idols they're destructible, and Yahweh Lashem Yahushai, you can't, he's untouchable. You're not even gonna be able to get that close to him.
Khan, you can't even look upon the countenance of Yahweh Shai without fear and trembling. Okay, let's continue. Yea, also I have baked bread upon the coals thereof. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is mocking you all the way through this. All right? You can't. How? Let me continue on. I have roasted flesh and eaten it, and shall I make the residue thereof an abomination. All right, so it's an abomination unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Shall I fall down to the stalk of a tree? All right, it is nothing but fuel. Should you fall down and worship a tree? Even you're worshiping a tree at Christmas. All right, and that's a whole nother topic. But that's just another tree, another false deity, a false idol that people worship. All right.
All right. So on to the book of Baruch, chapter 6, verse 5. And it reads, Beware therefore that ye in no wise be like to strangers, neither be ye afraid of them. When ye see the multitude before them and behind them, worshipping them, but say ye in your hearts, O Lord, we must worship thee. For my angel is with you, and I myself caring for your souls. As for their tongue, it is polished by the workmen, and they themselves are gilded and laid over with silver. Yet are they but false and cannot speak.
Con. So they are false and cannot speak. They are made by the workmanship of men, the hands of men. You cannot make a god by the hands of men. The only way that you can be made a god is through a God. The God of Israel, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. That is it. There is no other power. Not in this world, not in the next, not in the spiritual realm, not in your realm, not in your mind. It doesn't matter. And that's the bottom line. Continue.
Moving on to verse 12. Yet cannot these gods save themselves from rust and moss?
Cannot these gods save themselves from rust and moss? All right. They can't do any of that. Continue.
Though they be covered with purple raiment, they wipe their faces because of the dust of the temple, when there is much upon them. And he that cannot put to death one that offendeth him holdeth a scepter as though he were a judge of the country. He hath also in his right hand a dagger and an axe, but cannot deliver himself from war and thieves. Whereby they are known not to be gods, therefore fear them not. For like a vessel that a man useth is nothing worth when it is broken, even so it is with their gods. When they be set up in the temple, their eyes be full of dust thorough the feet of them that come in.
Khan. So Yahweh Bashem Yahushai has not only said that there is nothing. You can't wipe the dust off of your face of your idol. Your idol cannot wipe the dust off of its own face. Your idol cannot get up. Your idol cannot rid the moth and the rust from itself. And this is the depiction of that dagger and that axe of a false deity. He cannot declare war on anybody who has offended him. Why? Because he's a false idol. They're false idols. Even you worshiping the so-called black woman, all right, or black woman's god, this Kemet shit. Salakia. Continue.
All right, verse 18. And as the doors are made sure on every side upon him that offendeth the king, as being committed to suffer death, even so the priests make fast their temples with doors, with locks and bars, lest their gods be spoiled with robbers.
God, your gods can't even defend themselves. They need doors. They need doors in their temples and so on and so forth to protect their precious metals, to protect their gold, to protect their silver. All right? A god doesn't need any of that. Nothing of that. But your gods need it. Why? Because they're false idols. False. Fake. Continue.
Verse 19, they light them candles, yea, more than for themselves, whereof they cannot see one.
Con. See, they light the candles for themselves. Why do they light their candles for themselves? Obviously because they don't know the way. This is...
But they have no characteristics that are like us. Remember that we were made in Yahweh's image. We were made in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai's image. And these other idols, they don't have that same correlation with us.
Con, they have no light. The light is not in them. All right?
Verse 20, they are as one of the beams of the temple, yet they say their hearts are not upon by things creeping out of the earth. And when they eat them and their clothes, they feel it not. Their faces are black through the smoke that comes out of the temple. Upon their bodies and heads sit bats, swallows, and birds, and the cats also.
Your deities, your idols can't get rid of bats, birds, cats. You can't get rid of nothing. You got a nest on the Buddha's leg. You'll have a nest on bird droppings all over your idols. Why? Because they are shit. Thus saith the Bible. Your Marys, your Guadalupes, Caesar Borgia, Ra, and all of them. All of them are false gods. False gods, all right?
It says, upon their bodies and heads sit bats, swallows, and birds, and the cats also. By this you may know that they are no gods, therefore fear them not. That means that these beasts even the beasts of the world have no respect for them. They got no respect for their power, because there's none.
And Yahweh Bashem Yahushai told us to fear them not. We do not fear your deities. All right? Your Baphomeds, your Buddhas, your Caesar Borgias, okay? Your rocks. I know the brothers told me the name like 3 times, but I don't care. It's just a rock. That's how insignificant it is. It's a rock that you want to travel around however many times you want to travel around. All right? Calling it righteous. God. This Salakia. This is the book of Baruch, chapter 6. We're about to close out. Chapter 6 and verse 70. And it reads, Salakia. For as a skewer, Salakia. Okay. Salakia, Akim. For as a scarecrow is in a garden for cucumbers, keeping nothing, so are the gods of wood and laid over with silver and gold. So Yahweh Bashem Yahushai said that your gods are nothing. They're as scarecrows keeping cucumbers. Where do scarecrows usually, what patch are they usually in? Ask yourself that question. All right? Continuing on to 71. And likewise their gods of wood and laid over with silver and gold are like to a white horn, white horn in a orchid, that every bird sitteth upon, as also to a dead body that is cast into the dark. Salakia. And 72, Baruch chapter 6, verse 72. And ye shall know when to be no gods. Salakia. Let me start over. And ye shall know them to be no gods by the bright purple that rotteth upon them, and they themselves afterwards shall be eaten, and shall be a reproach in the country. And closing out with the verse 73, better, Slakia, better therefore is the just man that hath not, Slakia, that have none idols, for he shall be far from reproach. All right. So this is Yahweh Bashim Yahushai saying, a just man is better not to have an idol, is far from reproach. All right. So instead of going with these other false idols and everything, you're better off not worrying about any of that. All right. We got one more verse, and then we're gonna go ahead and close out.
Well, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 42, verse 8. I am the Lord, that is my name, and my glory will I not give to another, neither my praise to graven images.
All right, so Yahweh Bashim Yahushai said he would not give his praise or his glory or his name to any other graven image. All right, so therefore, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Salakia for this the laughing and everything is just Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is telling you, stop following these false idols, Israel. Till the next time, we're going to say Shalom. Double honors to the apostle. Salakia, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, to the occupant out there teaching and preaching this truth with all sincerity, to the men, women, and children listening and learning, to the Bayash Dabadad of the hopeful elect men of the 144,000 and the 1/3. Till the next time, this is Men of Valor, Las Vegas Camp. Shalom.